It's the last for the women. Obviously, we'll be saying, OK, it's going to be gold for Simone Biles, but it could very well be that this lady, Mai Murakami, might have something to say about the silver, at least because she has some wonderful tumbling skills of her own.
She does, and she's the current world champion. Obviously, Simone wasn't there last year, but she's really come into her own. She picked up the silver in the all-around, so she'll be confident and on a high. And she's got some incredible tumbling to watch out for as well.
She does, and here is the lady in question. It's Simone Biles. Remember, she's now going for a 6th medal in 6 events at these World Championships. She's only ever managed 5 before in one global championship. There's our fan club in. Look at that. We love you, Simone. I think the world loves Simone Biles after what she's been capable of. And we really haven't seen anything like this. If she were to do it, only Daniela Silavash, as I say, at Seoul Olympics, has managed 6 in 6 events. Elena Shishunova for the old Soviet Union in 1987 at the World Championship took 6 medals. But this is 30 years ago we're talking about. And again, it just underlines how much she's changing and indeed elevating the status of women's gymnastics now. Then.
Yeah, and I just think it's great for our sport. You talk about someone like Usain Bolt and people flock to watch him, whereas now that we've got a character very similar to that, people will want to watch our sport. They'll want to tune in and see how she gets on. And the camaraderie between these gymnasts is so nice now.
It certainly is, and those are our finalists. Simone Biles will be going in 6th place today, so she's going to have a chance to watch all of these finalists, and it's the French gymnast Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. It's a very long name. We'll get to it eventually, and there she is, and she's certainly worth watching. She's a wonderful, wonderful floor worker. In fact, she's the reigning European champion. So this is the last of the 6 events for Simone Biles, and indeed in the women's gymnastics event, and this 6th, Alison and Craig, is arguably her best.
It is, Hazel. I can't wait to watch the routine and be wowed by it. Mai Murakami will try to challenge as best she can the reigning world floor champion. She won when Simone Biles was taking that sabbatical after the Rio Olympics. Before then, though, she reigned supreme. 3 times the world floor champion, back-to-back in 2013, 14 and 15. And then, of course, the Olympic title at Rio. Bronze already for Biles on the beam today. Murakami here, Craig, at the centre of our picture, is a very stylish gymnast, but just nobody has the difficulty to match, and that's the key.
Well, that seems to be the key, and in the gymnastic community there's a real split actually about the power of Biles compared to the grace, artistry of what was former gymnastics. And I think that's really interesting, that some people love the floor routine and some people would prefer to see it go back, and people are saying maybe we should limit it just to 3 tumbles and you can only do 1 tumble like this and 1 at that to narrow that gap. It is personal opinion, but I really do love to see Biles tumble. I do think she pushes the boundaries of sport, and she's a phenomena. You know, it's like saying to Usain Bolt, you're too good, so we're going to tie your shoelaces together. These people come once in a lifetime.
Let these gymnasts fly. The first gymnast on the floor will be hoping to fly, 18 years of age. It is Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France, the reigning European floor champion. And she gets us underway.
So we've seen this gymnast really improve over the last couple of years. And another powerful gymnast, full twisting double back layout. First tumble, couldn't just keep it in the floor. Very expressive. Double twisting, double back. Gymnasts are told that they must sell the performance to the judges. 1, 2, double leg spin. And there's a front walk out, straight front, into the double back tuck position. Very powerful and expressive gymnast. High into the double pike back. Well, what a performance from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France to kick off this World Floor Final. Beth, what did you make of that?
That is a great way to start this final. I mean, we've seen her earlier in the year at the European Championships winning it, and saw her very disappointed actually during the all-around competition. So she wanted to come out today and obviously perform. She's got some huge tumbling. Here's the first tumble. Unfortunately, I think she just landed outside the floor, so that'll incur a deduction. But some super tumbling here, straight back down the diagonal to do the double twisting, double back, and very little deduction on the error. Chest up, and there's the squat spin. Gymnasts have to show a combination of the leaps and jumps and obviously the difficult tumbling elements. A great routine, very well choreographed.
It's a routine that's also is full of expression and character, isn't it?
It is, and there's the last tumble, the double back. And she looks pleased with it, and we saw her teammates in the audience cheering her on. So she scored a 13.9 in qualification with the 5.6 difficulty.
Can she get up into the 14s in this world final?
Floor is a real difficult piece of apparatus. To get above, you know, the high 13s into the 14s, Beth, takes something really special.
It is, and you can see there she took the 0.3 deduction.
Yep, so 13.433 for de Jesus dos Santos, the first gymnast. Everybody knows what they've got to beat. They'll all be trying to go clean as well. Don't step out, don't incur any penalties. And Flavia Saraiva of Brazil is next to go. 19 years of age on floor. I saw her at the Rio Olympics for Brazil. Very popular routine there.
Yeah, she was definitely a home favourite during those Olympic Games in Rio. Unfortunately, she had a year of injury last year, but great to see her back. There's the big opening tumble, but unfortunately that step out will incur the 0.1 deduction. Here's the leaps and jumps. Great amplitude on those. Here's another big tumble. There's the double straight. Gymnasts have to show two leaps linked together. Here we are. Most gymnasts opt to use 4 tumbles. That was her third, the 1.5 straight into a full twist. And now a bit of time to show off the choreography. Great spin. And builds up to the final tumble. Gets the crowd going in the background. For a gymnast, that always feels so good to have the crowd clapping along to your routine. And there's the big last tumble, the double pike. Covers up the landing.
Well, a real crowd favourite, you have to say, Beth.
Definitely there. You can see her teammates cheering her on in the crowd.
Well, a real star of the Brazilian team. And it was jam-packed from start to finish. And what always amazes me is how the judges determine, you know, the marks for artistry, musicality. The gymnasts have got to interpret the music. Yeah, it was creative. It was expressive. That's the first opening tumble, the step out. So 1 foot is 0.1. And she definitely uses all the floor, and she's such a powerful gymnast. That's the double straight position, and the judges can deduct that separation in the legs. But she jumped so high in the leaps and showing great flexibility. And the combination, 1.5 twist into the straight front full. Forward somersault now one of the requirements. And then, no problem, lifting up into the double pike.
The double pike salto and the trademark smile.
So the Brazilians have brought in a new head coach, Valeri Lukin, who is father and personal coach to Nastia Lukin.
Well, he'll be pleased to see that score, 13.766. Well, it puts her above De Jesus after she had her 3/10 penalty. Not quite as strong as she managed in qualifying, however. But do you believe he's made a real difference to the Brazilian team?
I think he has. He'll bring over the next couple of years leading into Tokyo. We already saw them in qualification come high up the team rankings. Unfortunately, they just had a bit of a disaster on the bars at the last piece and pulled them right down.
Well, we've seen one medal for Canada today on beam. Brooklyn Moores here now competing on floor.
Canada have really impressed at these championships. Scored well in qualification, leading into the team final. Picked up a medal in vault final yesterday. And there we are, a big first tumble straight front into the double front, but a big deduction on that landing. Did well to hold it. A very different style of routine. Uses a lot of the forward tumbling elements, the double front with a half turn. Nice spin. Great leg separation in those jumps. Gymnasts have really been working on the artistry over the past few years, and we've seen a lot of very good choreographed routines. Here she builds up for another big tumble. The 2.5 into the full twist and just staggers out.
Well, plenty of artistry, you're right, in that routine. But we're really in a battle for silver and bronze behind what we know Simone Biles can do in terms of what she packs in and the difficulty that she sets way beyond everybody else. Craig, what did you make of that one?
Well, it was certainly different from the first two routines in terms of the pace of the routine, and that was a big contrast for me. It was very balletic, you know, in terms of just not the same power around the floor. She went for a very big first tumble, handspring and a connection into the double front somersault, and if you don't get the timing right on takeoff, there's very little you can do, and she did well actually to recover that and not sit back down. There you can see double front somersault with the half turn, chest down a little bit, and that will be deducted because judges are looking for the chest being right up facing the direction you've come from. And she did look like a little ballerina in one of those little jewellery boxes. I was going to say I didn't have one of those as a child, but my sister did. So yeah, it was a real contrast in the routine. Probably not the difficulty that we're going to see, and I think she might struggle in this field to, you know, pick up a medal with those errors as well.
We saw her in the floor final in Montreal and managed 5th in that final. She qualified down in 8th. Gymnasts always want to try and improve on the years before. She'd been hoping to be challenging for podium, but we've got a lot of class gymnasts and some of the best ones to come yet in this floor final.
We have, and obviously it's interesting, most gymnasts you'll see use 4 big tumbles. She opted just to use the 3 tumbles and uses a lot more of the jumps and leaps. Here you can see very well kind of interpretation of the, very good interpretation of the music.
And that is still important as far as the judging goes, isn't it?
It does. The judges can deduct for artistry awards, so they have really been trying to encourage more artistry back into these gymnast routines.
Well, a score of 13.066 puts her third of the 3 gymnasts we've seen to go so far. But we've got a number of routines still to come, which all have much higher start values, much higher difficulty. And this is one of them. We see a little bit of wow factor from Mai Murakami, who's the reigning world floor champion. She won gold in the absence of Simone Biles. And she was having a sabbatical in 2017. All around silver in these championships. Here she goes on floor.
And we're going to see huge, powerful tumbles from this gymnast. Had a great all-around championships at this competition. Had a bit of a trouble with this first spin. Just fell out of it a bit too early today as well. Here we are, the double twisting, double back, not a flicker on that one. And head straight back down the diagonal, using the double straight, just a small hop back. Here we are with the 2.5 twist into the full twist, builds up the connection by linking the 2 twisting somersaults together. Now has to show off the routine and incorporate the jumps and leaps. Another big spin, the double leg spin up. And the final big tumble, you can hear the buzzer going. There's the double pike.
Well, a very different sort of routine to what we saw before, wasn't it? Expressive, but also much more dynamic.
It certainly was, and she's one of my favourite all-around gymnasts in the world at the moment. And really packs a punch on the floor. It's got some big tumbles, like you say, very expressive, creative as well with some of the dance moves. Like you say, a little bit different, but that's what we need. And I think that was one of the better floor routines we've seen in this championships. This is very difficult to be able to spin, there you go, and lose us out. That's what happened actually in the all-around competition. She came off floor in floods of tears thinking she'd actually blown all chances of a medal and ended up with a silver medal in that all-round competition.
And that was also Japan's first medal in the world all-around since 2009 as well. So as well as being a world floor champion, that's made plenty of headlines in Japan for getting on the podium in the all-around.
Well, I imagine the women's side of gymnastics in Japan has taken a bit of a back seat to the men's success over the years, and I think this gymnast will be really carving out women's gymnastics in Japan. A trailblazer, a bit like you, Brett.
But as a world champion yourself on this apparatus, Beth, can you appreciate what it's like to stand on the floor as a world champion? And that does put her into top spot. 13.866 for Mai Murakami. Oh, that look of steely determination says, yep, I knew I could put in a routine to go top.
Yeah, I mean, she knew when she came off. There was a couple, the tumbles there was not an issue with at all. It was just a couple of the coming out of the spins. So she'll just have to sit and wait it out now. We've got a few big names still to come.
And Angelina Melnikova was European champion on this apparatus in 2017.
The level of difficulty that these gymnasts are performing now is incredible. There's a very nice spin to start the routine. Just going to open with a big tumble. There's the full twisting double straight inside the floor area. And there's the jumps and leaps that she needs to show. Straight into another big tumble, packs in the difficulty, the double straight. A very expressive routine. There's the triple squat spin. Builds up to the third tumble, the front summy walkout, into the double tuck. All the gymnasts have to show a front somersault in their routines in the tumbling pass. Double leg spin up. Just has one more test to finish this routine off. And there it is, the double pike, a small hop forward. But one of the cleanest routines we've seen so far.
Highly polished from the Russian, very impressive indeed.
Well, the first apparatus final for Melnikova in this World Championships, and she's promised so much over the past year or so and failed to deliver, but for me that was the best floor performance we've seen so far. She posted a 14.033 in qualification, so if she can match that, she could take the lead. And so graceful and elegant to watch. And also I think she has the right mix. She has the powerful tumbles. I mean, that's a big first tumble, double straight with the full twist, but then the grace and beauty of the choreography. For me, best routine so far.
When the body is stretched, far more difficult to rotate. There's the double straight. Far easier to
You can see the landings. Here's the triple squat spin. Just got it round, but should get credited it.
remember the final determination is up to the judges. They think
It always looks a difficult spin to get into that, Beth, down onto the floor, and then try and get out elegantly. You know, you're sat down on the floor and getting back up, that's the hardest part.
Definitely have to get the choreography to kind of use the choreography to get into the spin, and then use the choreography to get out of the spin as well.
Oh, that's an anxious looking face, isn't it?
Judges are taking a long time to get these scores out.
Well, she struggled staying in the floor in the all around. I think she had a hop out on that big opening tumble, so that's a 10th better.
So much adrenaline coursing through you, isn't it? When you
Of course.
take to the floor in a final. You've been seeing Simone Biles bounce out.
And certainly the Russian women have not performed half as good as the men in this competition.
It puts her into the silver medal position. 13.8. 3-3. Well, Mai Murakami still sits above her. Simone Biles is to come.
Interesting, they had the start value down at 5.7, but there's confirmation of the standings so far. Murakami leads over Melnikova, and Sarajevo of Brazil sits in third.
Well, it's the battle for silver and bronze, really. Mai Murakami leading the way. Simone Biles is head and shoulders above the pack. The Olympic champion, the 3-time world floor champion. She already has 13 world golds to her name. She's got some pretty young fans in as well. That is a look of composure and determination to just come out and do what she does. It's a routine where you can just sit back, enjoy and be wowed if she can keep herself in control. As you said, just saw a bit of that excitement burst in where she bounced down to the floor earlier on in the championships.
I think that's going to be the hardest part for her, is controlling that energy. She's so powerful, and the floor that they're using now has got a lot of spring in it, so for a lot of the gymnasts, if you don't control that landing, it will recoil back at you. And obviously we know Simone is very, very bouncy. She's got lots and lots of fans in supporting her today.
Judges are making her wait here, though.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why, because the scores come in from the previous gymnast. And even if an inquiry had gone in, that wouldn't affect the rest of the competition going ahead. So
here we go.
From the USA, Simone Biles.
And she's going for her 6th medal at these World Championships. And what would be a 14th career gold in all.
So this is the first of the 4 big tumbles. Here it is, the double twisting, double straight. Takes a step back, but clearly inside the floor area. A great start to this gold medal routine, hopefully. Straight back down the diagonal with the skill that she's known for. The double straight with a half turn, rebounding into a jump. Now she's got a bit of time to do the jumps and leaps. Has to show the front somersault, so there it is. Into the full twisting double back, and takes a step out of the floor. That'll incur the deduction. She is well ahead on the difficulty. Audience are getting involved in this routine now. There's the double squat spin. Huge height and amplitude on these leaps, and builds up for the final tumble. Uses the double twisting, double tuck, and chest is fully up. What a fantastic way to finish her championships and probably take that 14th world title.
Gymnastics at its most spectacular. Well, she took her 13th career gold on vault, a year to the day that she returned to the gym after that sabbatical after the Rio Olympics. She already has more world golds to her name than any other gymnast in history, and she's surely going to add to that tally here.
Certainly was. That was a performance and a half. The first tumble was absolutely stratospheric. Double straight with the double twist. This is the one she bounced out of the floor in the all around. Stayed in there, no problem whatsoever. Then goes back. This is the Biles. The double straight with the half turn connects immediately into the leap. So that eliminates any chance of a landing deduction. As Beth said, gymnast must do a straight front somersault with a full twist, and they're into full twisting double back, and she just jumps back, and whether it's 2 feet out the floor, just 1, so that's 0.1. But yeah, without doubt, the floor routine to beat. And something she's improved on, her flexibility and the height in her jumps when she does the leaps has definitely improved. But you can see her demeanour's totally different when it's on this. She's on this piece of apparatus. She doesn't look anxious, agitated at all. Where when she goes to the beam, she looks a little bit uncomfortable at the minute. But here, where she can really relax and put on a performance.
And she is utterly, utterly at home on this piece of apparatus. We're hearing that an inquiry was rejected for Angelina Melnikova on floor. But Super Simone Biles, 14.933. She doesn't know it yet. There's a penalty of 3/10. And that score can't have come up in the arena just yet. Now it has. Biles shoots to the top. She looks cool as a cucumber. Just another day in the arena. It will be a 6th medal for Simone Biles at these single world championships. She's Super Simone. She does staggering gymnastics.
They're discussing the step out. I think their coach has come in to discuss, we thought it was 1 foot, but I think because she took her other foot off the floor, whether they take that as 2 feet being out.
Well, Morgan Hurd, another exciting gymnast from the USA. Bronze in the all-around.
That was a great opening tumble, the double twisting, double tuck. And here we are, the double straight, just piked it down at the end. There's the change leg ring into the 1.5 turn splits. Each gymnast has their very own style. Can see Simone in the background cheering her on. There's the full twist out of the straight from. Another jump to build up the difficulty. Has just one more tumble to finish her World Championships off. And there's the double pike and just a small hop back.
Now, very neat looking performance from Morgan Hurd. We saw her in the bars final yesterday for the USA, came 6th then. It's the first time competing in a world floor final though, and she really held her composure well, didn't seem to be awed by the occasion at all.
No, I think they've got so much competition experience. Every national championships that they perform at, they have podiums, they have huge crowds.
She lost out her world all-around title from last year, went to Simone Biles. So she is a gymnast who excels across all 4 pieces. And you're right, the USA gymnast, just look at that focus.
She looked like she was having a big yawn then from this angle. But I can assure she wasn't far from sleeping in that routine. Big opening tumble. Double twisting, double back. That's the skill that Biles finishes with the final tumble. And you can see double layout as well. Beth pointed out, chest down just a little bit there. I mean, that's just minute. Combination tumble straight front in the full twist. So that's one of the requirements in the women's code on the floor. So it's real tight at the top actually for silver and bronze, Ali.
Well, that's the battle we knew was going to be on.
Alnikova obviously put in an appeal because I had a difficulty at 5'9".
Oh, it's good enough to go into the silver medal position. Huge celebration from Simone Biles, her senior in the US team. Well, we could have a US 1-2. There's one more gymnast still to come. But it's Simone Biles leading ahead of Morgan Hurd by a whole mark. And even with those 3/10 that Simone Biles was penalised, it just shows how far ahead she is with the difficulty of her floor routine. But Mai Murakami, who was the world champion, is down in the bronze medal position. And this is the last gymnast to go from Russia. Lilia Akhimova is now taking to the floor to round off these Women's World Championships.
Who came into this competition in the Russian team as a floor and vault specialist. Full twisting double back straight. Not the height. Had to take a big stagger forwards. A little bit better there on the double layout. Well controlled on the double spin. Quite dramatic floor music. Gymnasts are allowed to pick their own music. The double Arabian. control on the single leg spin. Long pause before the final tumble. Stands up, full twisting double back. Well, saved the best landing to last. Lilia Akimova of Russia finishes this women's floor final.
Well, we saw some errors early on from gymnasts stepping out of bounds. Competitions got cleaner as we worked our way through it, really. But gymnast there in her first world final, of course, wowed in between by the performances of Simone Biles. Yeah, she qualified in 7th place. Her start value in qualifying 5.7. They're not quite up there with those who are currently in the medal places, depending on how clean she can manage to score here.
Well, I think the deduction on that first tumble we've just seen there, the full twisting double back straight, was that low and had to stagger forward, chest down. She had her chest down on the double straight and that step forward. I don't think it will change the top 3. But it's currently Biles, Hurd and Murakami.
Up into the air for all these incredible tumbling lines that we're seeing.
That was a better landing, full twisting double back.
Well, how will the judges score this one? Will there be any change in the top 3?
Well, she only posted a 5-1 difficulty in qualification. You can see the look of disappointment of Melnikova. If that inquiry would have been accepted, it would have put her into that bronze medal position. So it's well worth submitting an inquiry if you think you have got a point to prove.
Yeah. If your federation will pay for it.
Well, this is true.
So a bit of a wait before the final scores are confirmed. So 7th place for Akimova. It's another gold for Simone Biles. She confirms her status as just the best gymnast the world has seen. Disappointment for so many others who miss out on medals. A distraught Melnikova, but a delighted Simone Biles. 6 medals in these World Championships alone. It's her 4th gold here, her 14th career gold in all. And Mai Murakami, oh, she's smiling despite losing her world title now to Simone Biles. She comes away with the bronze medal. But Biles really head and shoulders above the rest on floor. It is her piece of apparatus. Champion in 2013, 14, 15, Olympic champion in 16. She only lets the others have a look in when she decides to take a break. But a year out, and a year since she returned to training, she's come back and taken these World Championships by storm. Her fans love it. We love watching it. She is surpassing all other gymnasts that have gone before her. A record 14th career gold, extending her legend. Biles from Hurd with silver, Mai Murakami with the bronze, and a huge disappointment for Angelina Melnikova, missing out on a medal, 4th for her. But again, it's Super Simone finishing these World Championships with yet another gold medal.
She's done it, you're absolutely right, Alison. 6 events, 6